In the preliminary rounds of the World Economic Forum, today we'll be discussing Thailand's competitiveness and its future. Competitiveness is the only investment that ensures steady success. Thailand, ranked at number 39 right now in the past decade, have been stagnating. Now, what does Thailand require to continue to transcend into competitiveness as the world is moving towards the Eastern economies?
Yeah, we have a broad approach to competitiveness. So we identified 12 areas that matter for competitiveness, starting with the institutions, the quality of the public institutions and the private institutions, and other areas such as infrastructure, market efficiency, innovation, market size. So Thailand is in the middle stage. So they still need to pay attention to the basic drivers of their competitiveness, including public institutions, and Thailand has a big issue there. But increasingly, they need to start focusing on market efficiency, fostering competition, facilitating entry of new players, opening up to the world, and also start adopting or using more technology, ICT. So what we've seen over the past few years, it's really the institutional framework which has been deteriorating quite significantly, explaining the drop of Thailand in terms of competitiveness. So I would strongly encourage a government of improving the institutional framework. This includes corruption, red tape, stability, offering stability in terms of policies, so that investors and businesses know, what the rules of the games are going forward. So this offers predictability, stability, which is conducive to environment.
In the latest Global Competitiveness Report, Thailand ranks as number 39th and appears to be stabilizing after having lost ground in the previous 4 years. The improved macroeconomic environment represents the most positive aspect of Thailand's accomplishment in this year's assessment. Its public debt has been reined in and brought to a more manageable level, and the efficiency of its labor market also stands out positively. A flexible labor market allows for an efficient allocation of talent, which Thailand ranks on the 34th. However, many challenges will need to be addressed to make Thailand more competitive. One of the main areas of concern is the quality and efficiency of its public institutions, which has been deteriorating over the past 3 years. Another quality is of education, as well as this is slipping. Property rights remain unprotected, and the worrying security situation imposes a high cost on businesses. It remains to be seen what impact the new political landscape will have on the economy and whether the new government will succeed in restoring the trust and confidence of the business community.
Education is the key to educate the Thai people and then also bring them to the world class. Yeah? And education institutions in Thailand, there are so many, and the government had allocated a big budget, the biggest budget among all the ministry to the education program. We have to improve the system of education. We have to teach something that they can carry on for their future career. Thailand is in a good strategic location. We have enough population. We have all the infrastructure, much more than some of our neighboring country. And therefore, if we really capture that, and I also put up a challenge, what's going to happen to bring Thailand in the eye of competitiveness to the world, to the investor. How we can to move that up, Then we have so many categories that we have to improve ourselves. Certainly many areas, one of them is education.
Institution, I mean public institution, that is what it says in the WEF report, and corruption. These are two items very high on the list in the case of Thailand. I think that you see very clearly that corruption is an enormous impediment to our competitiveness. If business have to pay bribes or commissions, and that pushes up the cost. And if you are going to compete in the world economy, you cannot do that with this sort of corruption going on. And weak public institution, actually that is tied to corruption, because if corruption is to be able to take place, you need cooperation between politicians and the government officials, the public institutions. So if the public institutions are weak, then I think then you can create corruption very easily.
In order for Thailand to progress in the future world, it must first stabilize its weak institutions as well as upgrade its higher education. Time is running out as ASEAN Economic Community is commencing on 2015. Natakorn Bladi, reporting for ASEAN TV.